Years ago, I was on a gig with Jackson Browne's keyboard player, Jeff Young, and he played with Jackson for over 25 years. He was his go-to guy. And we were playing a gig together in Santa Monica, just on the beach at this little lounge. And on our set break, we were talking about various musicians in the industry, sidemen behind the scenes who played for legends. And this is something that Jeff obviously did, and I've done a lot of working with various different artists. And these musicians are really top-notch players. And one of the guys he mentioned was a guitarist named Andy Fairweather Low. And I said, I know Andy. I remember hearing about him on the Unplugged album with Eric Clapton. Eric Clapton was talking about him and praising him, and I thought, wow, you don't get a gig with Eric Clapton unless you're pretty good at guitar. And so in this video, I want to share with you something that nobody's sharing with you on the internet, and that's the lead guitar behind the classic song Tears in Heaven. Now, if you're looking for the main part, which Eric Clapton plays, I do have a lesson on that on my channel, but this video is going to focus on the lead parts. So let's get straight into it. It's in the key of A. And the main part, of course, goes. This is the verse here. So Clapton's playing this. Right? It's in the key of A. Now, if I just play that back, from my looper pedal, check out what Andy plays on top. All right, that is a beautiful guitar part right there. So we've got the A chord that Clapton's playing. He goes to the E over G sharp. Then when Clapton hits this F sharp minor 7, Andy goes up and plays these really sweet double stops. Okay, so that's the notes E and A, these are fourths. Slides up. Then he goes to the notes B and E, which again are fourths, sliding up. And it's a classic R&B thing, like, that could be like Rainy Night in Georgia with Cornell Dupree, kind of that vibe. Then you go down here, 2 and 2, and then back up to 4 and 5. That's A and C sharp to B and E. Now the scale being used here is just the A major scale, or you could think pentatonic, right? A major pentatonic, that's the same thing, just with 2 less notes. But he does get in, when he goes to the next part, you'll hear that note. So I would call it A major scale. Then here he plays A and D, and then plays open E, right? And that's just like, that's hitting that chord, right? So he's just breaking out little parts of the chords. Then he plays an A chord, and then plays D, E, then the note B. Okay, and that's leading us into the E chord. So it's like da 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 da. Beautiful melody. Now Clapton goes and plays that kind of almost like a bluesy lick, right? Those kind of double stops, but he's walking up. And Andy plays. Oh, that's so good. So again, contrasting. This is a very important point. When Clapton's down here, notice Andy's up here. And then when Clapton is doing this, then Andy's down here. So wherever Clapton goes, Andy goes to another spot, right? If Clapton goes high, Andy goes low. If Andy goes high, or if Clapton goes high, Andy goes low. And he's like just weaving perfectly. The other brilliant part is notice how he fits around the melody. So the melody is like da da da. So it's like da 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 da. Then he goes da 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 da. So notice his moments of lead that kind of stick out are in between the vocal phrases. All right, so then when he gets down to that final measure, he plays an E chord, and you're gonna play the 6th string, 3rd string, and then 2nd string. So it's like 1 and 2, then and 3 and 4. Okay, now these, again, it's a harmony. Like a lot of times in the blues you have like, you can also have, like in Change the World, right? It's the same kind of moves, and these are sixths. You know, so they're 6 letter names apart: C sharp to A, D to B. Okay, and you just slide in. Then you play the lick. Okay, so here's the whole phrase. Now here it is with Clapton's part. All right, so that's the first lick. Let's take a look at lick number 2. Now this one happens in the intro, okay? So we've got, here's the intro progression. Similar to the verse, but you go like this. And you sit on A. And then right there you hear this. Just a nice little fill there to take up that space. Now here you'll really see the A major scale. We're gonna start on the A chord and we'll play the 4th string, then the 3rd string, then we'll do a hammer, E to F sharp there, 2 to 4, then do the same thing on the 3rd string, then a hammer pull on the 2nd string. That's C sharp, D, C sharp, then B, pull off to A, and then F sharp, A. Okay, so 1 and 2 and a 3 and a 4 E and a 1. So it's using to start out 8th notes and then 16th notes. 1 and 2 and a 3 and a 4 E and a 1. And then also those hammer-ons and pull-offs. Now, if you're not familiar with these scale patterns, I want to give you a gift that's going to really help you out with this. And what it is my fretboard guide. Just go to johnmclennan.com/fretboard guide, and you can download this for free. And what it's going to show you is the 5 chords and scale patterns that go together to map out the entire fretboard. And if you want to play lead lines like this and you want to understand how chords and rhythm all connect, this is going to be one of the most useful pages you'll ever see, and it's just one page. I put the entire fretboard guide on one page. You can get it completely for free. Just go to johnmclennan.com/fretboard guide and grab that now as my gift to you. So here's lick number 2 one more time, and again, we're coming out of the intro. We're going 1 and 2 and right, and then you got the da 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 da. Okay, let's take a look at the 3rd lick here. Now this again explores the idea of sixths, which we saw when we did. But now we're going to apply some of those lines to the higher strings as well. Here's what it sounds like. Okay, so it's similar to lick number 1, but we're going to start with these. Oh, that's so good. So this is the 2nd fret on the 3rd string and then also on the 1st string. Now these are, again, 6 letter names apart. We've got an A to an F sharp there. Then we walk it up. Then we do a hammer. Okay? And all of this is literally it's the A major scale, which again, you want to learn these patterns on the fretboard guide because it's going to show you where these notes are. So if you haven't grabbed that, make sure you get it. Now here we're going to hammer to the 6th fret, that's C sharp, and then A on the top string, fret 5. And then come back down, same notes, then go here. Okay, now that's, again, all this is. How good does that sound over F sharp minor? I mean, that's some tasty stuff right there. Then from there, we go to F sharp and D, which is Clapton's on D over F sharp, and that's just 2 notes of the D chord, and then open E, and then E and C sharp, then D, E, B. So starting out with quarter notes, 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4, and then we play the same lick as before, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and a 1. Okay, let's hear it one more time. This is lick number 3. Here's what it sounds like. There you have it, some brilliant licks played by Andy Fairweather Low for the lead guitar on Tears in Heaven. Hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to practice those licks, and then if you want to start creating your own phrases and really see how all this comes together, sort of the theory and the concepts behind what Andy's doing, go to johnmcclennan.com/fretboard guide and grab this PDF. As my gift to you, it's going to just make so many things clear when you see how it works. As always, thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, I think you'll really like this one next.